Hey everyone, I am Justin, the curator of Just Some Toys on Instagram, and welcome to my first ever toy video. I have loved toys my whole life, and about 2 years ago I started listening to a podcast about collecting, and it got me into toys more than I ever could have imagined. And here I am, 35 years old, with a full-blown toy room that was built completely in the past 2 years. I started with a lot of toys from my childhood, Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, things like that. Picking up some of the original ones that had come out when I was a kid, and then also hopping into some of the lines of new toys that have come out, re-releases of those original toys. So, when I was a kid, I was a huge X-Men fan. Absolutely loved the 90s animated series. And I've seen these Marvel Legends on the shelves in stores for years. And they never really jumped out at me. I am not, and you can send me all the hate mail you want to, I am not an MCU guy. I've tried, it's just not for me. I think at the root of it, I'm a DC guy through and through. And as far as Marvel goes, I've always just been an X-Men fan. And they didn't really have too many figures, at least as far as I knew, that dove into that 90s Marvel X-Men feel. Until now, it seems. So I recently stumbled upon a podcast that did a long-form episode on getting into Marvel Legends now. If you hadn't already been in the line, starting at square one and how to go about that and what to pick up and stuff like that. And I guess I took it to heart because this week I spent almost $8,000 on Marvel Legends figures from Hasbro. And I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of what I bought, how I bought it, why I bought it, and what I hope to buy in the future. So here we go. So this is what started it. This is the Marvel Legends X-Men 80 Years of Marvel pack. Jean Grey, Cyclops, Wolverine. When I saw this, I knew I had to get into the line. Has the awesome cards on the back that I grew up with collecting, and this was step one for me. I figured 3 guys, $60 was a must purchase, right? So that was the first thing I bought. Then, of course, if you have X-Men, you have to go and get Professor Xavier, right? Professor Xavier is the X-Men. The X-Men don't exist without him, right? Charles Xavier. This was one of the priciest. Might have been the priciest figure I bought because it's technically a vehicle figure, considering all that it comes with. But yeah, so that was the priciest thing I bought. And then I just started going through and buying figure after figure after figure. Kitty Pryde, Magic, Walgreens exclusive, Nightcrawler, of course Jubilee. Jubilee's so important to me because she starts that whole animated series off. It's basically her story from day one, and I've always had a soft spot for Jubilee. Let's see if I can do this without ruining any. Cyclops. Yes, I already have Cyclops over here. I got this guy in a lot. I didn't need him. He's one of the harder to find and pricier figures. But I got a great deal on him, so I picked him up at the moment, and we'll see what happens in the future with him. Forge. Have to have all lines, right? X-Men, X-Force, X-Factor. My absolute favorite as a kid, Gambit. Huge fan of Gambit. Basically, I wanted to be Gambit when I grew up. I can't tell you how many decks of cards I flung around my house as a kid. Mystique. Bishop. This is a really hard to find figure. Again, I had to pick this up in a lot because I just couldn't find it at a reasonable price, or what I thought was a reasonable price otherwise. Mr. Sinister. Awesome figure. This is almost exactly like the figure I had as a kid of Sinister. Beast. Another hard to find figure. Running out of room back here. Emma Frost. This figure I probably won't hang on to. I'm going to look for a Emma Frost in the white to represent what she looked like in the animated series. This is a cool set. Magneto, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, another 80 Years of Marvel set. I love these figures, the real thick, large villain figures. A little bit pricier, but very, very cool. Archangel. My Archangel always broke as a kid. I feel like I had like 2 or 3 of them in the original Toy Biz form. So one of the other things I learned this week is that these figures are pretty much exactly the same as these figures. I always thought that these were just re-releases with less articulation, but they're not. They're basically the same exact articulation, the same exact build as all these other in-the-box figures. They just come on a card. So that one. Dazzler. Of course, Storm. Running out of room. Yeah, like I said, I spent almost $1,000 this week in Marvel Legends X-Men figures. This is one of the cheapest ones I bought for 2 reasons. It was cheap to begin with. It was $14. And then when it came, it was all ripped up and opened. So I complained to Amazon, and they gave me 50% off. So this figure, cheapest figure in my collection, only cost me $7. And then that's not going to stand. And then today, literally right before I filmed this video, I got the steal of all steals. So GameStop, of all places, has been having a crazy sale on Marvel Legends the past week that I started collecting, which is a great coincidence, except all the figures that are on sale aren't really available in any stores. So you can't like order them and have them shipped to you. They're only available for pickup in store. So you have to find a store that has it, order it, and then pick up in the store. And I've been looking, day after day for a figure I needed that was cheap, that I could pick up at a local GameStop, and I couldn't find one. And then today, I don't know how I had missed it before, unless it wasn't there, but a store on my way home from work had this. This is one of the heaviest action figures I have ever held in my life. Juggernaut and Colossus 2-pack. This thing weighs probably close to 5 pounds. It's ridiculous. It is... The Juggernaut is probably the coolest of the figures I've bought so far. It is so intense and insane. And these guys, the last 2 I've purchased, cost me $18. I actually already had it ordered from Best Buy for $72 and had to cancel my order online. Luckily, it hadn't got here yet because I got this for $18 today. So that's it. I have 4 more in the mail right now. I think 4 or 5 more. Polaris and Havoc and Weapon X and more are still coming in. So we'll add those to the tally. And that's it. That's how I almost spent $1,000 on Marvel Legends in 1 week, and I think have become a fan for life, or at least as long as this line exists. Again, I'm Justin. This is my first video, so bear with me. At Just Some Toys on Instagram, and thanks for watching.